Hey.
Yeah, what's going on? Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. We got through it, right? Got through the time change. If you guys aren't on your desk like this, you're, but if your job is outside and you're loving the sunshine, guess what? Carpe diem, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. You got it.
Yeah, buddy. What's going on? Charlie, how you doing, man? How was your Monday?
My Monday was pretty chill, man. I mean, I had to kick back for a bit, had to rest for a little bit. Wasn't feeling too good, tired. So, you know what? I just chilled, enjoyed this time change. Dude, it's still sunny outside. It's so bizarre. When I did this podcast, it was like dark, gloomy, dusk. But now it's just, dude, it's still sunny. I could go out there, I could go for a run and come back and still be sunny, looks like.
Right. You don't need to take out your lantern or anything like that, like The Last of Us or anything. And
lantern,
sure you're not making any noises or anything.
Candle holder with my little nightcap and my nightgown or what,
like your Ebenezer Scrooge. Or
yeah, exactly. That's what it sounded like when you said the lantern. Like,
who goes there? Yeah, all those clickers start going into dance and stuff like that. And it's like a Christmas Carol. You're like, what?
What is going on? The time change in this.
It's movies and shows, guys. We're probably souped up on water, tea, anything. Like it's anything to get that caffeination going.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and talk Last of Us, guys. We got to the last episode. Mm-hmm. We were talking in the backstage. I know Jeff is on his way, like the wind. And I know Hyper is also doing a show, so I'm almost sure
he'll be on
creeping and crawling, Yiggy S yelling.
Yeah.
But before we get those meaty details, dude, let's go ahead and holler. Let's holler at the Herd Chat, but let's also, we want to give our sponsors out, man. We want to go ahead and provide you a code. Use Nirvana14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price at only 99 cents. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's worth its weight in gold. If you're coming into the hobby just now and you're starting, good on you. Welcome. Welcome to you. If you're going to go ahead and count those short boxes, guess what? You're going to need a place to track your stuff. You can do that. And if you're looking to eventually sell those modern books into something different, let's say you get a heat wave of a comic, or there's FOMO, or there's buildup, guess what? You can track the prices. Go there. And you can also track, your PC, your private PC. Here comes Jeff right now. I'm about to hit him with the I'm not going to do it. Don't disrespect him. But don't forget. Yo, Jeff, what's going on,
Jeff?
my brother?
Go on, buddy.
And then I hit my computer.
Oh, don't worry, bro.
I literally was going to take a hammer to it.
No, dude, this is an office space, bro. I know your tech support and get it figured out.
Call your building's tech
Before
support.
you call tech support, man, we're going to go talk to our friends over at Bird City.
Yeah,
Bird City Comics, man. Mm-hmm. We're going to go ahead and use TNH10 to get you 10% off of your order. All right, 10% off your order. Okay, guys. TNH10 gets you 10%. And I got to tell you guys, they're very limited runs. And Laura really take care of the community. They curate and also handpick these artists, and they work with. They're very what's the word I'm trying to say? They're very community based and oriented, guys. So let's use TNH10, guys.
TNH10.
Yeah, man. And if you haven't gone and see the catalog, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Check it out. 8-bit homages, Let me tell you, man, they just keep on coming, man. Gabriel Delato, Venom, the good stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to the Four Horsemen faction as they're jumping in action figure form, brother, into the pixelated screens or the silver screens of movies and shows. You got brother number one, Brother Rudy. What's going on, Brother Rudy? Long time. And he is a community blue wrench and son of a gun everywhere else, man. He's just doing the damn ditty. You got brother number 2, Something Wrong. You already know something right's going to happen when he's around. Brother number 3, the anime, etc. What's going on, my brother? All the way from Canada. And then brother number 4, all the way from the other side of the pond, the Gunna. The game addict himself as well. Glenn 2K12.
Glenn.
One with the force and the flatulence. Beats by Munster is a the house resident DJ up in this. So you already know those tantalizing beats that tickle those eardrums. Beats by Monster. Holler at our boy. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and say what up to GT Key Comics with keys to the comic community.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're caught up. We're going to go ahead and get it started in here, right? We're going to go ahead and hit it hard. Jeff, I see that new lid on your head right there.
Ooh, look at my new lid too. Look at that.
Yeah, buddy. I feel my mind's right there, dude. I just
get it. Just get it.
Wear this stylish, hairless free, you know. Eat out Sassoon, my shit.
Might as well use it before you lose it, right?
Right. You got to, brother. You got to. But we were just talking, Jeff. We were talking about The Last of Us final episode, right? Not season, final episode. And my lord, dude, man, I just want to get to it, man. So, Jeff, well, how are you, brother? I just want to.
I'm good. It's good to be home from work. It has been a long 48 hours, man.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got old man problems. So,
don't we all?
I can't even feel my leg.
Oh,
man. Like that?
Yeah, it's Jello, bro.
Oh, the boxes.
Oh yeah, I had to bring them all upstairs. You kidding me?
That's what it was.
You damn right you had to.
Oh,
I mean, Charlie and I and Big Rob helped you get to the
shit. The grid wall is still in the damn car. I said, fuck it. I said, screw that, dude. The shelves, I'm leaving them in there. I don't care.
I would have done the same. Exactly. That's why I said
bro,
that. Yeah.
Because I live in an apartment complex where I park is far away from my apartment.
It is.
I am not walking from that parking spot, bringing all that stuff over here. So, anyways, I'm on the second floor, so it sucks. But lucky for me, I was able to keep myself awake to watch the season finale.
Nice.
And I thank goodness I only had to watch it once because I retained everything I saw in that show. It was good. It was I mean, it was intense from the beginning. From what I understand, that beginning part was not in the game. It was not. It's not part of it. The fact that we got that actress, I forgot her name. Is it Annie or something like that? Or
Ellie's mom?
Yeah, I forgot.
I
know the mom's name is Anna, but
the actual actress.
The actual actress's name, yeah, because she's been in a bunch of different things.
She looked familiar. She really looked familiar.
Yeah. Didn't she play Ellie's voice?
Yeah, that's
what it looked like. It looked like Ellie.
That is Ellie.
Yeah,
but she played
after the show. I watched the end, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I love how they peppered them in like that. But she played in other movies as well. She's like a well-known
Ashley Johnson, I think's her name.
Is that what her name? Yeah, I seen her in other movies. But yeah, that was her though. That was so cool. Really cool.
Yeah. It's. I knew she was the voice actress for Ellie. Like I said, I heard about Last of Us a long time ago. I knew who some of these actors were already. She's probably the biggest name that was in there. That actually voice any of the characters. So, but I mean, that was such an awesome beginning, such a good way. It's like Ellie having Ellie.
Yeah,
that's like kind of like. Can you
wrap your head
around that? Meta, right?
Yeah,
major meta.
It's like Flash becomes the Flash because
he gave birth to him.
Yeah, it's like Ellie met Ellie, and then I met my tissue.
Hi guys,
what's going on, Hyper?
What's up, Hyper?
Yeah,
how's it going, buddy?
I walked into the Steve's. I don't know what kind of podcast we're dealing with tonight.
Anyways, we're just talking about
we're gonna emotionally be there for each other.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're gonna hold each other, dude. Like
the finale. I know you had to watch it twice, so we'll get to you about it because you had your mixed feelings.
No, it was over. It was majority positive. Just a few things, but yeah, I'll get to that.
And does it have anything to do with the differences between that and the video game?
There wasn't that much differences though. Okay. Surprisingly,
no, there
was actually something that
almost shot for shot.
Yeah, that actually was surprising to me. Yeah.
I mean, honestly though, that if I knew that this ending in the show was the same ending in the game, that game is beyond good. That's beyond great.
Dude, that's why they remade it so many times.
How good of that story that is.
Yeah.
And the director, the producer, he basically said, "You'd be a fool not to shoot that shot for shot."
Yeah, because the game already has it and it's already a hit. Why not use it?
Use the material that's in front of you.
Exactly. Why change anything?
And hit it out of the park. That's it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I freaking enjoyed this episode. I will say it's not the best episode of the 9 episodes of the season, but I want to say it is pretty darn close. It is a good ending to a season. I think they wrapped it up nice and neat. And I honestly can't wait to see season 2 because now there's a different dynamic, right? Yeah. At first they didn't trust each other because they were put into a situation together, right? They were just made to be put in that situation. So of course they're not going to trust each other. They don't know each other from, Adam, or from Eve. So and then the fact that they got to a point where they trust each other, that they relied on each other, that there was no quarrel between them anymore. But the fact that we end on that same note that we began with, right, where that trust is gone, like it's not there anymore, because you can tell that Ellie asked the question at the end for a good reason, right? Like it was eating at her, and the answer that she got from him, you can see on her face, like she didn't buy it, but she went with it. And at least that's how I felt. But let's just get started. I mean, for me, it was a great episode. What did you think, Hyper?
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, Jeff. It wasn't my favorite episode, but that's not to say that it was a bad episode. Look, the show, and this is kind of like what I said about like Game of Thrones, where like even though there were some sleeper episodes, that just means that those other episodes were just that much better. It wasn't a case where it was bad. So I did like this episode. Honestly, and this was my fear when I from the initial get-go, when I saw that the runtime was 44 minutes. And then the first few minutes was a flashback scene. My fear was, okay, they're gonna be cramming a lot of stuff in with the credits and all that, like in literally 30 plus minutes of content. And honestly, that was actually my, I guess, minor gripe. I kind of found that this episode went too fast, and that could be a testament to just how the pacing was. But I just felt like, especially for a finale, it's kind of ironic that the finale had the shortest episode of all 9 episodes. Usually you would think that the finale would be the one where you would want to, yeah, exactly. Where you kind of want to, marinate things and kind of let certain payoffs last a bit longer. Like I was hoping for a bit. I mean, we did get some good back and forth with Joel and Ellie, but it just felt like there was like a lot of gaps in there, especially between the time that they left David's settlement to springtime, I'm guessing. It was just I kind of felt like, because this show deviates from the game in a sense that they do a good job of doing some backstories, like with Bill and Frank and all that. So this was a situation where I would have felt some added layers could have been done with the dialogue between Joel and Ellie. I would have appreciated that much more. So the action scenes, I will say this though, I was surprised at the body count that Joel was racking up, because the show took a bit more of a grounded approach with Joel as opposed to the game, which is why I had no issue where in the university when they had 4 people versus a wave of enemies, I just felt, okay, they're going more of a realistic route. I was kind of surprised, to be honest, pleasantly surprised, I should say, when he was racking up all those kills, just like in the game. It literally felt like that corridor scene where I kept dying multiple times because I could never get past fireflies. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sir, you're just putty in their hands is basically what you're saying, because you set yourself up by wanting so much at the beginning, and then when you got this episode, oh, that was satisfying.
Well, the thing is,
that was delicious.
It was sad. No, because the thing is, it was unexpected, because up until this point, Joel, they made Joel mortal, a lot more mortal in this show than they did in the game. So that's why, to me, I felt, okay, it's going to be realistic for him to take out a room full of trained, armed guards. But listen, I don't mind dispelling reality in that moment, just because, like I said, if there's one scene that you want shot for shot, I don't think it would have worked as well if you only took out 2 or 3 fireflies and then got to the
right. Then you would have lost another 10 minutes of watch the show.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
was
Oh,
a
yeah,
man on a
exactly. The,
mission,
the
bro.
show already felt like it was losing content, not content, but like it had to fill time. So I'm glad that if there was one scene that they extended that I appreciate was that whole shootout scene and the music behind it, almost like the game where they played like a remix of the intro. If you notice,
It's
Right,
a
right.
super somber kind of pace of the music.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I think to be fair though, we also have to look at it from a point of view of this is not regular television. This is HBO Max, so it's cable.
Mhm.
And 43 minutes is almost about the right amount of time for any hour-long episode on television. There's about 12 to 13 minutes of commercials. So they're off
Mhm.
about 4 to 5 minutes for a regular episode. So I don't think they missed too much. I just think we were spoiled
Mhm.
because we got all those longer episodes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you could have fit commercials in there and fit in an hour. So
Mm.
I'm glad. See, for this, I understand why it might felt shorter, and because it's the finale, I also understand that kind of gripe. But when you look at like the Disney Plus shows, I get so
Oh.
upset when it's like
Those
this
are bite
would be an
sizes.
hour. This should be
Yeah,
like an
that's-
hour long episode every single time, and I'm getting like 33 minutes, 37
Oh,
minutes.
yeah.
You
How
know,
dare you
43
compare this
minutes.
to like a Disney Plus show?
What?
That's where you messed up.
Hey, you know
dude,
what?
Hey, should I get the banner?
Scarlet Witch was just fine, okay?
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'll give you that. Scarlet Witch actually picked up at the second half of that season. I will say.
Yeah.
And I think it's, and the only reason why I think people say it picked up in the second half is because the first part of that season, you have to set you up. You're in such disbelief. This is so weird. You're in a television
Right,
series, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have to
exactly.
set you up and then give you that pace of like, oh, we're going through the decades.
Mhm.
And that's part of the storyline, right? Like there's a meaning for all of that. So they needed to start kind of slow, but for me, I enjoyed it because it was just like a different type of television show.
Mhm.
So that's
That
what.
added in the childhood, dude, because we were
But-
around that time.
But
of
for
season.
The Last of Us is a typical HBO series where it's just it's rich, it's
Gritty,
great, you know, written. Yeah, it's great drama. The actors are on point. Like there's nothing in the cinematics is beautiful. Like you can't ask for more. I mean, come on, we saw a giraffe, a freaking
Live
group of giraffes.
Mhm.
I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I actually address that scene? Because I know
Yeah.
to some people like who never, because that was also from the game. And the thing is,
Mhm.
I know to some people that might just seem like a random scene, especially when you're playing the game. But honestly, the way I look at that scene is, and I think Charlie,
Hey,
may
Ninja.
agree with this.
You
Be
busy?
better, Binja.
Sorry, buddy. What's up?
Good
No
evening,
worries.
bro.
Ninja.
Good to
I
see
kind of
you.
look at this like this, like especially in the game when you're doing a lot of, it's a very morbid, dire game. Like
Mhm.
there's no happiness throughout, and I kind of felt like that giraffe scene was like almost like that calm before that
The
storm
storm.
of the.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
feel like like also as a gamer, you're spending a lot more hours in the game than because the show is like 9 hours, right? Like give or
Mhm.
take. The game
Mhm.
you're spending a lot more hours, so you need those kind of scenes to kind of almost like a breather and kind of like have a bit of
It's a pacing thing, right? Like, because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't have a story, you can have a story that's intense the whole time. You can have a story that's just kind of lackadaisical.
Yeah.
So you need that up and down of the storyline. It's like dancing. You can't just dance straight fast or straight hip hop.
Mhm.
Like it's just, like you got to do
I
like
can.
in order for
Hip-hop
you to
is
have a
elite.
good performance for people to enjoy, you have to have variety within your dancing, right? So it's the
Right,
same thing
right.
with the show. You have to have the variety of pacing. And I think that was a perfect spot because the beginning was so intense, right? Where we meet Anna, Ellie's mom. She is running from a clicker. Or well, it's not.
I
Is it
think she was a
runner?
runner.
It's a
I think it
runner.
was
It's
a
runner,
runner.
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Because she would have lost that clicker a while ago in the woods. Yeah, at that point.
Yeah, I
Right.
would have been just lost.
Yeah, he would have been like near crickets and shit.
I know, right? Hiding crickets,
I mean,
eating crickets.
Back
in
in my woods.
the about 10 minutes that she's in the show, probably less than 10 minutes that she's in the show,
Yeah.
she establishes how tough she is, how resilient she is, how, you know, like she realizes that she's in the house alone. This thing is going to come after no matter what she does now. She's already attracted it.
Mhm.
And it's tracking her down. And so she puts the chair there. She's ready to either give birth or kill whatever's coming in.
I
with the
know.
knife. Like
That thing
it's
followed her, man.
That's not dire. I don't know what is.
I know. Man.
she just her water breaks and she's still walking up the stairs and getting to the room. Like it's craziness. I couldn't imagine a woman having to go through that during that moment. And the fact that she gets through it, gives birth, survives long enough to give birth, and still kills the
runner.
Yeah, the runner, and so the baby will be fine. She's ready to kill herself. She's literally within seconds, probably minutes, less than a minute of killing herself before Marlene walks in. So I mean, like that's how tough she was, and that shows like that kind of goes through into Ellie, in a sense. Like I know, obviously, genetic wise, this probably doesn't make sense. But
she cut that's why like I like the part that they added that scene where she cut the umbilical cord because she knew that, oh shoot, like let me cut it before she gets
but I think she did that in case anybody showed up, because
she'd be dragging the baby.
It's already too late. It's already too late that she was bit before the umbilical cord was cut. So and she's born before she even realized she was bit.
Well, wait, hold on. Was she though? Because it looked like it felt like she just had a realization that she was bit when she pulled up her skirt. I thought.
No. So what happens is once she kills the runner, right? And she's laying there. She realized she gave birth at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Adrenaline.
Now she sees the baby and the wet ground, and that's when she looks over to her dress.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
right. And then she went.
And that's when she realized, oh shit, I have to cut the umbilical cord. Yeah. But by that time, it's too late, according to what happens later on, right? So I just felt like she basically got a Blade begin origin.
Yeah.
I was saying the same thing, actually. Yeah, it literally is totally
exactly.
Ellie, the clicker hunter.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I mean,
she should be. Yeah.
Technically, that's what she might end up doing, right? So. I can see like that was kind of cool. Just because I'm a Marvel fan, it was cool and not cool. You know what I mean? Come on.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It was slightly.
Did you hit him with a some bitch?
I did for a second, but then I was like, it makes sense. Okay, now it all makes sense. The way they explain at the end, the way Marlene explains it to Joel, that all makes sense. The cordyceps it grows in your brain. It's part of her because that she got bit right beforehand, or her mother did. Part of the cordyceps went inside her, but it didn't form the same way because maybe going through, a woman's womb is what they say is what a woman's womb is like the most protective spot for a baby, right? Or a human being. Like it's got the protection, the immune deficiency,
clicker walker,
the immune system, right? It's more protected. Daywalker. Yeah. So like they're probably saying that it filtered through and it gave her a different cordyceps where it tricks, gives a messenger that it tricks the real cordyceps, infection, and it just says, oh, they're already infected, so
let's go away.
Need to be here. Yeah. So I love all of that whole storyline, the fact that it explains why they have to kill Ellie, that she's on the surgery table, the reason why Joel is like, what? But he realized that he's not a stupid person. He might be a little more simpler, because he lived like a rancher's life kind of stuff, right? Like, so a tough guy is not going to think that far ahead, but once you put that information in front of him, he's like, oh, I get it. And he goes, oh, crap. And the conclusion that he came to was like, I'm going to have to kill all these people. Like, you can tell in his mind.
Yeah. She's not, because there's a chance that she's not going to live. And most likely it was going to lead to that.
She was going to die. She was
going to die no matter what. There was
the certainty.
It was like a brain transplant, dude. You got to cut to the brain. Yeah.
And then they have to slice the brain so they can, reproduce the cells of the cordyceps and stuff like that. So it was a bad place for Joel to be in, and all of them. That's for damn sure.
I mean, I understand Steve's perspective because there are a lot of half-brained people out there, but no, in reality, like that's
I know, right? Gotta have the brain. Leave the
Dude,
other half.
I was thinking like I was like, oh my god, I was just like, there's no way that she's ever gonna come out of that, and like
Oh.
right from that once you heard that part, I was like, oh, she's done.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
Essentially,
like,
yeah.
and even like in that sense, like we have like nowadays, right? Like right now, before apocalypse is supposed to happen, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we have so many great facilities that with great doctors. That's an apocalyptic land. He shot the last doctor on Earth, probably,
Mhm. Last surgeon, brain surgeon, maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Like 99.
Or we know. I don't. Actually, we don't know. I mean, he
Oh,
could have. He could have read books, and
I mean,
messed
300
up
million
that
people in the
surgery.
U.S.
I know, right? And was one brain surgeon up in there.
The
I hope
Firefly
that
got him.
wasn't the land.
You think
I
that
know,
there'd be at
right?
least one in Fedra?
Yeah, right.
God knows.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation, and I was there for it. Like, the whole conversation was crazy. With him, Marlene, with when she wakes up, when Ellie wakes up, the whole thing, the lying, and it's also
Alfonso Nunez is
what
in the
up.
building.
What's up,
I
buddy?
also feel like there's a parallel. So at the beginning, there's a lot of lying going on, right? Anna, who's Ellie's mom, is lying to Marlene, right? She tells her, I cut the umbilical cord before I was bit. And she says it twice. She emphasizes it. They all know everybody's lying. But
Oh, she didn't breastfeed either. She didn't want to breastfeed it either. She didn't want to breastfeed it. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And then Marlene is telling her, I will take care of this baby. I'll make sure this lives, knowing she probably has to lie about it.
No.
Right? Like, she doesn't know if she's going to actually live. She doesn't know if she's going to survive. And she doesn't even know she's not going to turn. Right? Like, there's all these questions going on. And then when we get to the end of the episode, Joel just straight up lies to her. The whole ride, the whole walk, just lying left and right. And this is all to protect this one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess the lesson here is sometimes we got to lie to protect the ones we love. And
sometimes that comes bites you in the ass later on, though.
Exactly. But sometimes those aren't the right decisions.
Yeah. At the moment, it sounds right. But down the road, you're like, I got to live with this, this choice that I've done.
Yeah. Tons of deaths, dude, on his hands. It's like a lot of turmoil to live with, a lot of tragedy.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, that's what they say. No man is an island, right? I mean, she was one that kind of gave him that gift of like a way to start over, right? And again, like Jeff said, at this point, they rely on each other. They heavily rely on each other. They built that trust. I think the easiest way to build trust is in those dire situations, man. You got my back, I got yours. You saved me, I saved you. Nothing else said. No words need to be said amongst that. I mean, you're going to get to that point in that destination as you go along, right? Which we were taking in that ride during those episodes. I was like, I felt like Ellie knew too when she was telling Joel, I'll with you to the end. She was like, after like we finish this, then let's go back. But it was kind of like in a sense foreshadowing her knowing like I'm not gonna make it. So her giving her that her giving him that breadcrumb of go back to your brother and live that life so that you can be at peace. Because
I interpret that a little bit differently. I felt like she didn't have a clue what was going to happen. She thought it was just drawing blood. And I get that. I conclude that because of how she tried to save the kid. Was it Sam?
Sam,
yeah. Tried to save Sam by rubbing her blood on him. So she thinks it's through her blood. So I don't think she thought she wasn't going to go back with him. She was trying to assure him that after we finish our mission, I'm with you. You know, I'm about that life, about like leaving all this crap behind and just living a good life.
Right.
but there was, for her, there's no halfway, right? She wanted to finish the mission. She also so, and this comes to a lot of secrets, or not a lot of things that we find out in this episode finally, right? Like there's a lot of unanswered questions that we finally get answered in this episode. So one of them, when it comes to her, is that she killed Riley after Riley turned. So she finally admits that. We all had that thought, but she just confirms it. And so for her killing her best friend, and not just her best friend, probably someone that she was, had a huge crush on, that she
or in love with,
or in love with. It's a different thing than just being a friend, right? And the fact that she had to come to that conclusion, she had to kill her, and she doesn't want that moment, that first time she had ever had to kill anybody, it had to be her best friend, the crush, that she didn't want to waste that for nothing. Like she didn't want that to be like, well, I did that and I can't save the world now. I survived that and it was all for nothing.
Yeah, it was taken away from her in the sense,
So she wanted whatever the mission was to be completed, because she wanted to save the world. She wanted it to have a meaning. And that's how, like, a lot of people live, right? A lot of people go through life and they go, oh, I want to have meaning in my life. So they do things, they do things that are maybe not even within their nature, but they brave it out. They
Raging Cajun.
Have the courage
from Louisiana.
You're right.
I'll be on a show this Sunday. FYI.
You're a mon ami. Ooh, dude, I can't wait. Comic treasurable collectors. Comic and collectible treasures with a passion, bro. Damn, I was tongue-tied. It's that itis, man, from all that Roscoe's chicken and waffles that we had. Yo, Jeff, you want to go to breakfast?
You know what? I'm about to kick you out of the room.
Just disconnect them. Boop. Steve's gone.
But yeah, we find out that truth, that she killed Riley. We find out that the person who shot at Joel was Joel. And that was super strong in itself. Like that was super deep, right? Like he admits that he tried to kill himself, and even in that moment, he had his doubts. And it also shows how he's thinking about what's led to this moment, right? Like his daughter dies, he has nothing to live for, so he tries to kill himself. Well, that didn't go well. That didn't work out, and now he's here. And he probably been living like The Walking Dead, like a zombie, right? Like through life at that point. And now he's found meaning again when he got Ellie and went on this adventure.
Well, so, did you catch his comment? What he said?
What's that?
She said, "I guess time healed all wounds," and he actually looked at her and said, "It wasn't time that know."
Yeah. So like that's the other thing, right? Like for him, it's purpose. And I think that goes for any man, right? Every man looks for a purpose to do their thing, to be accomplished in this world. And that's what he was. He was just flying blind, basically, until she came along. And that focus is something that he doesn't want to lose again. He doesn't want to fail again, right? Because he's failed twice before. Failed in not saving his daughter and failed in ending his life. So this guy is going through it, and it just shows that he got changed, and now it means so much more than what it meant before. Because he was like, I don't care.
Yeah, you're just package.
Reckless.
Yeah. You're not family.
That was crazy when even she acknowledged that. She's like, I just didn't think that this was going to be the case. Oh my God, dude. But I mean, how could it not be, right? Like, I feel like children are innocent, and in an apocalyptic world, they're no longer innocent, right? They gotta be extra.
They grow
on
up
their
fast.
toes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They have to. They see a lot of tragedy, and I mean, that's so bad for their mental. It's so bad for their childhood, for God's sakes. And yet Ellie is like, dude, she's just bright. And like she's she's a leader for sure. Obviously, you can tell. It was just damn that when that set in, I was like, oh no, dude. But also, in that same sense, he's being a protector as well, because you come to find out, like, it all clicks. He's like, she's not going to make it. And he's like any father figure, or well, any man would do for their loved one. They're going to go all out. Especially if you're going to lose someone that's just gotten close to you and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about like that crux, that whole conversation with Marlene, and the decision that he makes and the actions he takes after that. Like, I think that's probably the biggest part of this whole episode, right? It's that conversation and what he does after that, what he decides after that. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Charlie, what do you think of that conversation and the decision that he made?
Who, Joel with Marlene at the end?
Yeah, because I mean, no, not with Marlene at the end. Although there's two decisions. Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So the first decision is obviously she's telling him.
Oh, when he's in bed, when he's when he's getting out. Okay,
we're gonna have to. We're prepping her for surgery, and we're gonna have to basically dissect her, right? Take her brain. She's not gonna live through this, but she's gonna save everyone's life.
You have to remember, if you look at the episode, what she said, like, first of all, Joel has expectations. He's like, you know what, I'm going to take her here. They're going to draw some blood or do whatever. We're going to go back home and have a family, whatever. Right. So he has those expectations. So when he gets up, he goes, oh, you know what, she's fine. Oh, let me go see her. And he goes, no, you can't. And he goes, what? And the thing is, through Marlene's eyes, she still thinks that Ellie is still a package to be delivered by Joel. Right. They don't know. Like, they got this relationship. They don't know they had this bonding. She
wouldn't have expected it because she knew who Joel was.
Yeah, she knows Joel's a dirtbag who just smuggles things. Pretty much, they don't even have a good relationship to begin with. So when he says, like, oh, you know what, let me go see her, he says no, and then
big point.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. I know, but then again, Marlene was distraught. I mean, that episode in the beginning, that episode in the beginning. To be honest, I was like, oh my God, hopefully they finish this extra episode, because there's not enough show left. I'm like, what is this? What is this intro? Finish it quick. But then when they started, but then when it started to unravel, I'm like, wow, okay, Marlene saw, okay. I'm like, you know what? Her decision hit even harder.
Yeah, because she was torn. She was already torn. It's her best friend's kid. Basically, you're her godmother.
Yeah, her kid.
So I think that her telling Joel was kind of like a release. I need to tell somebody. Let me just tell him, because I bet it's tearing her apart. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, you have to remember, she says that we could.
It might.
She says we could probably make a cure. Probably. She didn't say it was 100%.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, it says probably. I mean, that percentage probably means like yes or no, 50-50.
Yeah.
So
or more or less.
And you got to remember, they live in the age. There's no internet. There's no second opinions.
No lab rats.
There's nothing.
Electricity is probably really extremely hard to come by.
Yeah. They were talking about that in the episode. Do we have enough electricity?
Yeah. Right. So what premise did they have this information? Did they read off a book or whatever? Is like, dude, we're like back in the Stone Age, so we don't know what they're gonna do to her, or they kill her on the table.
Britannica. And we don't know if this is their first attempt.
The CD, remember the DVDs that you put in there? It shows the moon launching, the rocket launch.
I think we got to do that.
Launch her to space, yes. But yeah, so the thing is, like, first she said probably. So, and then and the fact that she says that Joel says you don't understand, and she goes, oh, I understand pretty well, and I'd be like, no, you don't. You promised Ellie's mom. You got her on a table. She might die. I don't think you understand. But then all that happens, and then, like, Joel, I mean, pretty much remember, he got PTSD. He was almost having heart attacks. So he was going to lose Ellie back in episode 6. So going through this again, dude, he's like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. She's my life. I mean, he has Tommy, but Tommy's having a kid. He's married. He could take care of himself. He doesn't need me. We don't get along anyways, type of deal. So he's like, you know what? I think a man with nothing to lose is the most dangerous man of all. He just went up in there, guns blazing. I mean, not even getting hit either. But I think like the people got blindsided, because they're like, they don't know where the shots were coming from. They were getting hit from the back. People were running. I don't think they were some were even trained that well. Some guy, remember, put down his gun. He's like, don't shoot. Yeah. So they weren't trained. They weren't trained for this type of situation.
He's like, I'm just gonna put this pistola down. Con permiso, con permiso. I'm gonna let myself out the exit.
I just think he was
all.
overly calm, and
Mhm.
it's because he had already made a decision. He made his mind up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? Like he's like,
He pushed forward.
do or die. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't have nothing.
Else. Yeah.
There is
So,
no try.
And plus, he didn't know that she's already being worked on, already dead on the table. He doesn't know, dude. So you know what? I'm just gonna go at it. If I die, oh well. If I don't, then I got my life with Ellie. But I don't know if she's alive. So I bet all these thoughts are going through his head. In the game, I killed like half the fireflies, and the other half I snuck by. There's just way too many. So I mean, but anyhow, dude. So the decision he made.
I
So
think
you're
that's why I died more than you did. I went after all of
Oh
them.
no, I went all Metal Gear
He
on
wanted
this,
the blaze
dude.
of glory, dude.
I went all Metal Gear on
He
this.
wanted
one. You know
Reservoir
what?
Dogs on that ass.
yeah.
I know, right? So you're saying if Joel made the right decision, yes or no, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Too?
Mhm.
Well, you know what? I think he did, because if he didn't, there would be a part 2.
Okay, we're not
And
talking
1
about.
plus 1 equals 2.
We're not talking for our benefit.
I think
sir.
more like an ethical dilemma situation. I think that's what
Yeah. You selfish bastard.
Exactly. I like it. Haha. I
So,
like it.
so you are Joel.
Yeah, exactly. I am.
Okay.
Joel. There you go.
Hyper. What
All
do you
right,
think?
so now so I actually want to touch on Charlie's point, and I'll actually go into what my point is. The point where Marlene mentions, I know what you're going through, like, because
Yeah.
you know, no you don't, but because here's the fundamental difference. Even though she did know Ellie as a kid, you got to understand, she shipped her off to federal military school, and for the most of her life, she wasn't actually around for Ellie. Joel basically risked his life, literally risked his life, and went through hell and back to get her to point A to point B.
Word.
There's a lot more of a stronger bond between Joel and Ellie than there ever will be between Marlene and Ellie.
Oh yeah.
So it's two different situations. So that's why I don't think Marlene can ever relate to Joel.
But I think she can, because Anna was supposed to be said as they grew up together as kids, so they knew each other before the pandemic. I mean, not pandemic. Ooh, wow.
Damn,
COVID.
That was
What are you,
a Freudian
right
slip.
now? Look, we were out this weekend hanging out with
her. So they knew each other before the apocalypse, basically, before the world.
Yeah.
No. Yes, she knew her mom. That's the difference. But her bond with Ellie is not going to be the same as her bond with mom.
That's not what she's talking about to Joel. It's not her bond with Ellie that she understands his bond with Ellie. It's her bond with her mother,
and the promise that she's
from growing up for probably decades, right? And then on top of that, having to witness your best friend give birth while dying, and then have to shoot her.
But here's the thing, though.
Making a promise to her before you kill her.
But the thing is, she doesn't know Joel's backstory either. That's why, like I think honestly, and the other reason why he was able to get the jump on her is, I think that she legitimately underestimated him. She knew that he was he had a reputation, but she was even taken aback, about how far he came, because she even mentioned, I was escorted by like 5 people. And I don't know, some X amount of people died on the way.
Yeah, no,
I think she legitimately, her and her crew legitimately underestimated. Otherwise,
right?
We don't know
what you're saying.
Apollo.
Can we read this? He says, "How do you know Marlene hadn't seen shit in her life too, baby?"
Okay, so the thing is, it's not so much
the man, brother.
So I'm not arguing the point about her not dealing with trauma. That's not. I'm just saying, like, the connection between, like, there's no stronger connection with Joel other than maybe Riley and Ellie. But I would still say Joel had a stronger connection with Ellie, just because, trauma brings people closer, and there's no more traumatic events than the stuff that they've been through for the last.
Oh my god, yeah.
So now your question, Jeff. The whole dilemma, one versus many, that's always one of those philosophical things, right? Honestly, for the point that you just mentioned, how it wasn't a surefire thing that procedure wasn't like 100% success rate. She literally was going to be a guinea pig on that table.
Exactly.
Like
if it was my daughter, I'd be like, no.
And the thing is, we have no idea if
there's no 100% probability. F it.
Yeah, we don't have no idea.
You're taking out my daughter's brain.
We have no idea that we know if the doctor knows what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
It's
the thing
never.
is,
We don't know if it's the first attempt at even trying this because we're probably thinking she's the only one. So this could go terribly bad.
Yeah.
but here's the thing though. The thing is, she kind of contradicts herself in a sense where it's like
Mhm.
she's saying like if Ellie would have had the choice, she would have probably chosen it. Well, yeah, you say that. Then why did you have to sedate her? Why did you have to do the flash grenade? And why did you have to basically put Joel in the dark until he kind of was well clear of Ellie, not even in a chance to see her?
Right.
There was always that doubt in Marlene that Ellie might refuse, and at that point, I guess
Sure.
Marlene would face that moral dilemma. It's like, okay, the kid's refusing. Am I going to strap her down? So it's almost like she's trying to play this whole I'm saving humanity, but not even giving the courtesy. It would have been a totally different situation, I think, if Ellie had made that conscious choice. Like, listen,
Yeah. Okay.
I want to make the call, and I want to actually give my life.
I know the odds. Yeah.
But
Very true.
but even not
Good
knowing,
point. Good point.
even if Ellie doesn't know what awaits her with these fireflies, I think what we get from the episode, and probably for pretty much the whole series, is that it sounds like Ellie is willing to die.
But okay, you gotta understand, she's also a 14-year-old kid, though. I think the thing is, I know that she grew up very fast in this apocalyptic world, but at the same time, I think it's almost like we sometimes treat Ellie like she's like the status of Joel, where like I've lived a full life and all that, right? Like Ellie's just starting her life, so who's to say that? Look, she has just her fascination about the world and going to the moon and all that. Just the fact that she's someone with a lot of aspirations, it makes me question if she actually would have wanted to give her life. Like, no one has these big aspirations. They're talking about going to the moon and all that, but then they want to. And this is also my cynical side of humanity.
She's joking about the moon.
No. But
No.
it just shows that she's a dreamer, right? Like she has like ambition. No one that has no ambition will And the thing is, okay, this is my cynical side coming out.
Uh-huh.
You gotta understand, the world was already messed up to begin with. What world are you really saving at this point? At this point, look, as I don't have kids, but if I was, and Joel is pretty much her surrogate father at this point. If that was my daughter, I'm sorry, but screw you all. I'm taking my kid.
I'm with you.
Get
I'm
it.
with you on that.
I
I'm
get
with
it, but I shoot you first. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Marlene's dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think honestly that was just her underestimating Joel, and I don't think she realized what hell I mean, she probably did, because obviously she knew the shit out there, but I don't think she knew the kind of level of a badass Joel can be. So yeah, honestly, look, I'm with Joel on this. I'm team Joel. The only thing is, and I think this is the other thing I kind of had, I kind of found, I guess the way the show played out, he seemed a bit, they almost wrote him a bit more like a villain, the way he lied more in the show than they did in the game, I find.
Yeah,
It felt like he was really digging deep into that lie more so than the game. So I kind of find it felt like almost like that turn. I hope HBO doesn't turn him into almost like a Walter White kind of situation where he was good and then suddenly became bad. But again,
in the game, he was pretty bad too. Even towards the end, just him just killing those people without no, dude. He had that poker face, just shooting people. Even when he shot Marlene,
I think because
no discretion on his face, dude. He's like, no.
But you know what? I think it plays worse on TV because
because it's a real dude.
Expression of Pedro Pascal, so it makes him look.
What if he had a Mando mask on?
It makes him look more callous. Yeah.
Well, they basically put you in a dilemma to make you choose, right? Who was right? Who's the right person here in this situation? Who is making the right or wrong decisions, right? And this is beyond your love, your purpose. It's beyond anything you can fathom, because if one person can save the entire planet, you're being completely selfish, regardless. So I understand, but I understand as the person in the situation, I don't know if I could separate myself.
But like it's like,
Yeah.
who would I rather save, my kid or potential
world.
cannibal out there? Like, you know, it's like
Well, come on, they gotta mass produce this cure, dude. Even nowadays, with what we just had, we had trouble mass producing to this day of having the like not a vaccine, but you know.
And I get all that, but you don't have a world anymore.
Yeah,
You
don't.
don't have a
It's
chance to save it.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't have a chance to save it, then what the hell are you doing alive?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like,
Well, that's why he made that choice.
if I had the opportunity, that if I had a superpower that takes in all the radiation, right? So all uranium I can just deplete, right? But I get poisoned.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna do it.
Damn, you're more noble than me.
Yeah, you know
I'm
what,
just saying.
bro? I'd be like, hey
Because-
man, I got this power.
Because that's also
you
purpose.
gotta pay me.
That's also purpose, right? Like the purpose that Joel was looking for, that was purpose for Ellie, and he stole it.
Yeah,
from her.
Exactly, Bobby. That's what I was saying, man.
I would do the same.
But
And Bobby, it's just a probably too. I mean, it's not
No,
even
and I said that. Like I said, if I was actually in Joel's feet, in his shoes, I don't know if I could separate myself either from it.
I think the only he should have been honest, because she didn't know she was gonna die. He should have been, you know what, you're at the table. There was a 50-50. I'm sorry, I couldn't let you go. He should have did that, because in the end, you'll see what happens. But yeah, dude. But I mean,
honestly,
he's trying to protect her. But
honestly, Charlie, I'm glad that he lied in an ironic sense, because it kind of muddies the water a bit. Because the thing is, I guess if he was more forthcoming, I think it would have been a lot more cut and dry in terms of the relationship.
Yeah, you
but
wouldn't
the
have
fact that he lied, you have that, and now he has that bit of a cloud hanging over his head. And then,
well, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't change it, but it's just I'm talking about the story in general.
Right,
I'm glad they didn't change. If they did, I'd be like, damn. Then in the future, the future's going to change. But since he didn't, you'll see what happens. And like, there's always consequences to your decisions, good or bad.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll see. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So Steve, what did you think? And then right after that, we're gonna give our grades for the episode.
Oh man, like it was very emotional right off the bat to see Ellie's mom, not make it, and then you kind of get the origin story, you get the lead up to where they're at now, and then just their relationship. It's building more because of the sense that again, Hyper said it. He hit the nail on the head. When you're saving people's lives, there's a lot more ground that's covered, right? I mean, you're no longer. We're like, hey, that guy's a real nice guy. I mean, he's actually looked for my livelihood as I have for his, and because he's lost his daughter as well, and she has an understanding, because she's not dumb. She's very, very, like she picks up on everything, social cues. She's just very brilliant in that sense for being 14, and she could just sense things, and the dialogue between them was amazing. I felt like it was like father to daughter type of deal, but also the honesty of being cut and dry and open with them, and just the very end. I mean, where he was put to be in like in that position and make that decision, make that call. I mean, I think I would have did the same thing, especially if they're trying to escort you out. You already know, like, it's not going to get any better for you. I mean, it's not so much that they care about the fact that they could save humanity. It's the fact that, hey, we're going to do this, whether you like it or not. You need to leave, like, and whether or not that. I mean, they're trying to make it easy for him to be like, she's probably not going to make it.
Yeah,
a 99.9% chance that she was going to make it. Right, that 1% is that glimmer of hope.
Right.
Yeah.
It just, yeah, dude, it was an awesome episode for me to watch. I felt like there was beauty in it in that sense as well.
For sure,
You got to see Ellie grow a little bit more. The hesitation in the beginning and the unsteadiness between them talking, where Joel's like trying to lighten up the mood, but I feel like she has it in her head. Maybe she already knows, like, there's a chance that I might not be able to, like, come out of it alive. Like you were saying, she was thinking it's blood, but I'm sure like the nervousness gets to you. I mean, if you're gonna go under the knife, for a simple surgery
Never
or
know.
major surgery.
Yeah.
You just never know what could happen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It just it was a really good episode to finish off. For me, I was satisfied, like you said in the beginning, satisfied. No, I was like at the very end, I was like, that's it. I don't no. You gotta play a little more, dude. You gotta give me a little 10 minutes now, at least 10 to 15 minutes of a little, and then I would have been like, you could see the pain in her eyes too when she said okay.
Yeah.
She knew, and it made me angry that well, you couldn't see Joel's face because he was wearing the Mondo helmet or the angle, right? But if it would have been his face, I would have just been like heartbroken, right? Because you could see like not only the anger but the hurt, like in just saving life and or possibly saving life and being taken away.
Sure.
That's where I would have probably came to a term where eventually we would need to talk about this.
Okay, so what's your grade?
Damn, dude. I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah, you're right. 5. Clear.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
5 stars, baby.
Yeah.
Charly.
Man, you know what? This went close to the source material, and I'm happy they did that because they didn't get that video game curse where they changed something so badly that it just went off the rails and it's a totally different story. I gave it a 5. Do I love it? I love how the game ended. So I love they had the close to the source material. And yeah, dude, I have to give it a 5. I like how the game ended. I love how the episode ended. It's almost, up to par, dude. Excellent.
Hype.
Okay, listen. I can't give it a 5 because, like I said, there's other episodes I found that were better than this episode. As recent as the last episode, I thought it was better than this episode. But again, it was a great episode. Again, my only gripe is I kind of wish that certain situations they allowed us to marinate a bit with the dialogue. And I just felt that the episode was too fast, and that's just a testament to how good the pacing was. So I'm gonna give it like a 4.25. And I will say this: I think at this point it's almost an injustice just to say it's a great video game adaptation. I think I would go as far as to say it's one of the best HBO shows I've seen in a while, and I would say it's better than House of Dragons. And honestly, if Pedro and Ellie, I'm not saying win, but if they don't at least get considered for an Emmy nomination, then
Ellie for sure.
I'm gonna say the Academy is rigged and they have a bias against video game.
Yeah, Bella Ramsey should get it for show.
Yeah.
For show.
All right. Well, I will give it a 4.9, as close as I want to a 5. It does have to be under. But thank you all for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you guys. We can't wait till season 2. I'm sure we'll have another review show for that. But
gameplay.
There's other shows coming up. We'll get to those. And with that said, if you guys want to do it right, watch what you like. Couch potatoes for life. And let's give out these sponsors. Yeah, so First City Comics, for cover price, type in Nerdvana 14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. And then if you go to Bird City Comics, you can get 10% off your purchase for TNH 10. All right, thank you all. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.